Before I start the show, I want to let listeners from the Lower Mainland know that the whiskey movie, Our Kind of Chaos, will be premiering in Whistler December 6th and December 7th. The first show is sold out, but you can still get tickets for the 7th at whistlerfilmfestival.com. Hope to see you there. The FNRad Snowboard Podcast is presented by Flojoy Water. Season 7 is sponsored by Burton Snowboards, founded in 1977 by Jake Burton Carpenter. With nearly 50 years of industry-leading innovation, Burton's purpose is clear: make great products, minimize harm to the environment, positively impact the lives they touch, and have as much fun as possible. All the Burton gear I've been riding is next level. For listeners in the Lower Mainland, Burton recently opened a flagship store on West 4th in Vancouver, as well as a partner store in Banff with Unlimited. Visit your local Burton retailer. Bluebird Coffee Tuning and Rentals in Squamish, BC is the coolest new stop just 20 seconds off the Sea to Sky Highway on your way to Whistler. Drop in for the world's best cup of coffee, killer smoothies, and a true local vibe born out of 90s snowboard culture and music. They offer performance ski and snowboard tunes with state-of-the-art equipment. They've got premium rental fleets of Jones, Solomon, Libtech, and Burton, including Burton Step-Ons. And if you haven't gotten yourself one yet, Bluebird will even sell you a rad power bike. These bikes are so fun. For a blend of expert knowledge, convenience, and a lot of charm, stop in and say hi to Bluebird, the raddest mandatory new stop on your way to Whistler. Fixed bindings are tool-free bindings that focus on dependability and strength while providing ease of adjustability. I've been riding fixed bindings for a couple of seasons now and have had exactly 0 issues. It's no wonder they've got a lifetime guarantee. Do yourself a favor and visit fixbindingco.com. Lock in and let go with Anon's magnetic face mask integration, built to keep you seamlessly covered from the elements, and Magnatech quick lens change technology that makes swapping lenses effortless even with gloves or mitts on. Enhance contrast and clarity with perceived lenses and get the most accurate perception of the surrounding environment regardless of light and weather conditions. Clarity starts where distraction ends. Full face coverage, complete presence. Check out Anon's helmets, goggles, and MFI face masks at an Anon dealer near you or at AnonOptics.com. Hey listeners, this one's for you. Upline Brewing is beer for snowboarders by longtime Pacific Northwest shredder and FNRad listener Carl Montoya, who started Upline so you can crack a cold one anytime. No buzz, no slowdown, just good vibes. Unlike most NA beers, these actually taste legit and they're brewed with adaptogens for a mellow uplift. The Steezy Golden Lager and Crushin' IPA come in at just 25 and 50 calories and feature artwork from local legends like Quincy Quigg. Have one at lunch, grab another lap, hit the after party, and still wake up for first chair or the bank slalom podium. Drinking regular beers, toss some Uplines into the lineup. The natural electrolytes help you stay hydrated and keep crushing. FNRad listeners score 15% off at uplinebrewing.com with code FNRAD, or set up a subscription, save more, and never run out. Upline Brewing, brewed to adapt, crafted to elevate. Support also comes from the Pro Standard. Ken Achenbach has done it again with the push-button quick release for step-on bindings. Get them at prostandard.com before they sell out. Pacific Border, Vancouver's premium snow skate and surf shop on West 4th Avenue. Check out pacificborder.com. And 1910, the collaborative artworks of Jamie Lynn and Scof, two friends on a creative journey together, bonded by their love of art, music, and snowboarding. Go to the number 9, teen10.com for their latest collection. We need to thank our friends at Mount Seymour, Grouse Mountain, and Cypress Mountain for their continued support of FNRad, as well as Essential Toothpaste tabs. I love them, I use them, go buy them today. You can watch Burton's latest movie, Paved, for free on burton.com right now. The October 30th Vancouver premiere of Burton's Paved was an all-day event that included watching the movie at a sold-out theater on Granville Island, a pre-party at the new Burton flagship store on West 4th at Burrard that featured free amazing food and drinks, Thank you very much, Burton. And the day was kicked off by this meet and greet Q&A session with the UBC Ski and Board Club and Red Bull athletes Mark McMorris and Max Moffat, plus snowboard filmer Russel Chai and Burton's entertaining and talented pro rider Brock Crouch. I love that kid. He's hilarious. Here's what I recorded from that event. Enjoy.
I am Max Moffat. I am not a snowboarder. I am a skier. Kind of elephant in the room. But yeah, welcome to the paved Q&A. We got some heavy hitters here that I'm sure you guys are anxious to ask some questions to. But yeah, we're just going to have a little sit down and chat, talk about the movie, talk about other stuff in the movie. Yeah, kind of keep it light, and yeah, that's really it. Should be pretty fun. I don't really need to intro these guys because they're all heavy hitters, but I'll let each one kind of say their name and maybe their favorite color and something like that. But yeah, Rusty, why don't you start us off?
How's it going? I'm Russell. I'm a snowboard filmer, and I spilled Gatorade on myself today. So that's about it.
I'm Mark McMorris, and I'm a snowboarder, and I think this is my third or fourth panel at UBC in the span of like 13 years. So it's good to be back here, and I also watched Russ spill Gatorade on himself.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Brock. I'm from Southern California, but have spent a bunch of time with these guys the last few years, up riding Whistler and stuff like that. And yeah, love Canada. This place is awesome, and stoked to be here. Also watched Russ spill Gatorade on himself. It was red Gatorade.
Sick. Awesome. Okay, well, I am going to just throw out a few questions just to kind of open the room up, just to get everything going. But yeah, I don't know if actually all of you guys have seen the movie yet, The Paved. I'm sure you guys have, but Russell, I don't think you have.
I haven't seen. I've seen sections.
Yeah. But first of all,
How many of you guys are coming to the premiere? Are any of you guys coming? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We like that. We like that.
sick.
So you all see it tonight.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
What do you got? What's the favorite part? Do you guys have like one that gets you jazzed to go boarding soon, or?
I think all of them kind of have a different sort of, they scratch a different itch, you know, like the Japan segments just make you want to go snowboarding, and then maybe some of the Alaska stuff, you're like, holy shit, that looks terrifying. But what's your favorite section of the movie?
Yeah, I think the opening part's pretty crazy. Me and Mark and Ben Ferguson and Danny Davis got to go to Haines, Alaska last year, and it's like so steep. It doesn't even make sense how like snow sticks to those mountains. So that's pretty crazy, really scary to push yourself to try and see if you can just stay attached to that mountain. But then, yeah, like Mark said, there's insane clips of like Zeb and Anna Gasser, Zoe. It covers a lot of the whole team from, Tahoe to Japan to, all over the place. A lot of stuff up here in Whistler and interior BC. So we tried to tick all the boxes of everywhere in the world to film. It's pretty cool.
Sick. Next slide. Oh yeah. So this movie was obviously filmed over a long period of time. Like you guys spent the last few years, kind of grinding on this project. What was the biggest battle, or like, did you have any big goals that you set, or like certain tricks or certain zones that you wanted to get to? I know like when I film, I feel like I create, a few checklists of like, okay, this is what, my A plan would be, and then maybe a B plan. Just wondering if there's anything that you guys kind of set out to do.
I think always like setting some goals is good. Trying to go hit certain spots. There's been so many films over the years of like up in Whistler, Canada, so I'm always trying to look at kind of some spots that have been tagged and also new spots. So we got to find like kind of a newish but oldish zone because someone's always kind of been there. It seems like it. But me and Mikey got to hit a pretty big jump, and that was super fun to kind of just like cap off the year of hitting a big jump. But then, yeah, to answer this question, I had a little battle.
Yeah.
And we went to this place called Sonora Pass in California, in between like Mammoth and Tahoe, and I was battling like a front nine. You'll see like a clip. I like punch the snow and I'm yelling at the snow like, "What are we doing?" But yeah, it's like with anything, you know, like doing a board slide on a rail or a 360 or whatever you're trying to learn, you always are struggling with something, but that's what makes it so cool of always trying to learn and conquer whatever you're working on. So.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think biggest battle was probably juggling, doing like contests and trying to film, and then when I had time to film, then I put like my knee into my face, and that ended my season. And so it was like a lot of ups and downs through this movie, but the trips I did get were really memorable. And we got a really good trip in Tahoe in 24. I think that would have been late February of 24, and then Alaska last spring, and I got to shoot one day in the coastal mountains here this year. So the shots I do have, I'm really proud of, but I think it's just hard to juggle like doing both things and to stay healthy too. So.
Russell?
Well, I'm not really doing any tricks as I'm filming the tricks, so I didn't really have any battles.
Russ was on a trip with us in Revelstoke, though. How was that trip,
I
Russ?
did do one trip.
Nelson.
Nelson.
Yes,
I think
that was,
Zoe had a good battle on. Should I lead tricks or no? She had a pretty big trick, and it took her like I don't know how many times it was, maybe 5 or 6 tries, but it was starting to get, the landing was starting to get pretty beat up, so it was kind of like getting down to the wire if she could land it, or if you have to call it a day before it gets a little too dangerous out there and chopped up. So glad she was able to get that, and that was probably
big battle.
that was a huge battle for me.
Big battle witness.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, just quickly, Russ, like, with, athlete-filmer relationships, I know it's, I've worked with a ton of filmers in the past, and, like, I find it's always super helpful if because you're in it together, this battle, we get filming tricks, and, like, as much as it's a lot of the athlete, doing their thing, like, I find the filmer-athlete relationship is super important. And, like, is there anything you say to kind of keep them in it, or try to, like, keep them motivated to keep going? Maybe if they're super over it or getting pissed off, like, is there anything that you do to be like, all right, or...
Yeah, it's, obviously being encouraging, and there's like a trust. You kind of just got to know the person and know what to say, when to say it. You don't want to say something crazy and get in their head or something.
For sure.
Or like put too much pressure on them, or if they maybe need a little extra boost of motivation,
A little kick in the pants.
A little kick in the pants.
Russ isn't afraid to give those.
But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to like knowing the athlete, and it's kind of like your relationship you have with them. But that's something you just gotta feel out.
Yeah, for sure.
Just figure out. It's different with everyone. But
reading people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I haven't seen the film. Russell hasn't seen it, but obviously it was super backcountry focused, this film. I think there's a few big park features in there. I was in Mammoth when you guys built that big jump, but do you guys, like, how is it transitioning from, spending a few weeks up in Alaska, or like a few weeks going sledding in Whistler and then going back to the park for contest stuff? Like, do you guys find that transition tough, or is it kind of something you look forward to? You like do stuff for a while and then you are excited for doing the other thing. Just kind of take me through that.
It's definitely like nice on the mental to do both sides, and it's easy to get worn out of like just competing or riding park, so it is really nice. But jumping back and forth is definitely not easy to do. Yeah, like you're usually terrified when you get back to the park after heliboarding a bunch, you know?
Sure.
And you're like, I'd rather stay and do that. But
Yeah.
no, the feeling of pushing yourself in the park and competing and doing well is a great feeling. But you got to be doing it like kind of all the time, very consistently, for it not to be like super scary, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a little tricky to jump back and forth, but
Yeah.
it's worth it.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd have to say that, and also like kind of riding gear wise, like you're riding your park board, and then you go to POW and you switch over and like ride a bigger board usually, so it feels like a bit more heavy, kind of. And yeah, just what Mark also said is like the scared factor of like you're riding in soft powder. It's like everybody loves, you know, riding some POW up on the resort or in the backcountry. You know, there's no tracks anywhere, and you can kind of create your own line and do whatever you want, you know. And then you go to the park and you're hitting a 60-foot booter that's like super hard ice, like morning time, like kind of hard pack, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, covering all aspects of snowboarding makes you a better rider. So
Definitely.
it's super fortunate to be able to get to go from powder to the park. You know, 'cause that's kind of everyone's dream growing up, to become a snowboarder or skier.
For sure.
Are you guys all doing the ski and ride club? Nice.
Just,
You guys like riding powder or park more? Both.
Yeah.
Good answer.
That's good.
Great. We know where everyone stands. You'll enjoy the movie tonight. It's only powder.
yeah.
With two like pretty rough seasons too, the movie makes it look like there's such great snow like everywhere we went. So
Well, there was good
there
snow
was good
here
snow
last
like
year.
everywhere, yeah, for sure. But had to go find it.
Before we open it up to you guys, I'm just gonna play the trailer really quick in case you guys haven't seen it yet, and then we'll shift over to you guys to ask
I
some
got a
questions.
lifestyle in here.
We'll write that. The sound will be better tonight, but just a little teaser and trailer to kind of what we'll start to talk about. But I guess opening it up to Gracie Bryson.
Oh, yeah, I had a question. So when you have kind of rough seasons and there's times where like there's not a ton of snow and it's not a great year, obviously you're traveling a ton. How do you deal with the kind of on the fly, hey, it's dumping here, we gotta go? Is that hard to, like, in your schedules?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first year, like 2 years ago, it was actually like a pretty rough season, like everywhere. I didn't go there. I was up here in Canada, but Mark and these guys just like blasted to Japan because like Japan, it's just always snowing. It's crazy. Starting like around Christmas time, all the way till like February, it pretty much just snows there. Like obviously certain times of the year it struggles, but like it pretty much snows like half a meter to a meter like throughout every single day. So I don't know, Mark can talk
But you
about
don't see
strike mission.
Yeah, you don't see the sun much there, but you can pretty much, that's like the place you could probably bank on the most, that if you go on a trip during that time, you're gonna ride powder, and that's nice. And it's not super dangerous, it's not very steep, and it's just fun to play in the trees there. So I'm a big advocate of people going to Japan if you like to ride powder.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool, culturally sound place.
Great ramen, great fish, the whole time. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I highly suggest going there.
Great wrong.
Great powder too, obviously.
Good question, Grace.
Personal like hype song before like a big trip or like a big trip.
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I know Russ is almost strictly Akon.
Well, I throw a big trick, I'm put on Akon.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Morgan.
listening to a lot of Gunna, new age rap. I like Too Easy.
Morgan,
That
let's
song's
do that
pretty
one.
sick. You're like, all right. I've been strapping in a bunch. Like this trick's super sketchy, but I don't. Yeah, we don't usually listen to music at all. Like out in the mountains, always kind of have the radio on and try to be alert and listening to the mountains in case of obviously avalanches or just snow moving and stuff like that. But in the park, both headphones on, full blast, new age rap for sure.
But like a lot of times when you're snowmobiling and like building a feature or something, someone will have like a speaker, or you know, if you're out of harm's way and you don't need to be chattering on the radio and stuff, for sure it's nice to have a speaker out there. I feel like you put on a lot of like Bob Marley when you're building.
And like classic rock. But honestly, like going to Alaska, it's pretty crazy. We get to go and use like a helicopter and drive into the airport every morning. It's like heavy metal, like Metallica. It's like Ben and those guys love like super, like Ben and Nickel are always listening to like
Sabbath.
like Sabbath and like Metallica and shit. But yeah, all of it. Different moods through every
What are you
day.
boarding to?
I don't know, yeah.
Anything?
I'm the same, kind of anything coming on really, but new age as well, kind of.
Yeah, nice.
Kodak black.
Kodak. Yeah, I usually ride with just like one headphone in the park, so I can like kind of hear. But Brock, try and talk to this guy.
I'm double headphoned always in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
Max volume?
Yeah, most of the time.
I get like the iPhone alert. It's like, you gotta turn your headphones down. Like, no way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right or left, Mark? Which you
Honestly, whatever one I have. Like I lose AirPods like they're going out of style, which is brutal. I gotta actually go to Apple this afternoon. It's on a train in Europe, and yeah, I didn't realize for a long time, and then they were just floating, and I was looking at them, but I was never getting them back. It's like, it was too bad. Anyways, but a lot of times they fall out in the snow, and then it's white. It's really hard to find, but I switch up for sure on the ears, whatever one I have.
Alex?
Russell, yes. As someone who
Hey,
is
Doc.
beginning to start filming a little bit more, what would be like a piece of advice for someone that's just kind of starting filming?
Filming in general or snow sports specific?
No sport specific.
I think the best advice I'd have is just go out and do it as much as possible. And I get asked a lot of the time, like how I got into it, how I met riders and whatnot, and that would be like I just had a camera and just like went and did it. I did compete when I was younger, so I kind of know some of these guys like mutually. Like I knew Mark and Craig from back home in Calgary and whatnot, so I did have a little bit of like an in that sense. So I just like knew people to say like, hey, what up? Like, I want to film something. But I think that just being as like at your local hill as much as you can, and just
Being
people that-
available.
yeah.
Like
Being
most
available.
orders are down to let you film them, right? Like,
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
hyped.
So going to if there's local events, go to events, bring your camera, and just say hi to everyone, and eventually one day someone might just hit you up and be like, yo, you available to film something? So that'd be my best advice for starting out.
Also now too, the iPhones are like insane. So like you guys can just pull up to an event and be like, hey, can I go follow cam you? And they're like, sure, here, airdrop. Like, obviously it's a bit like Russ, you bought a camera and shit and started somewhere. But like now like iPhones too are like insane. You can just film whatever with your homie pretty much. It's so insane.
They are insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your like biggest fails or crashes from this film, and do you remember like what was going through your head as they happened?
Yeah, I had one. Oh yeah, actually I had one on that jump that I was kind of talking about with Mikey Cicerelli. It's like right after Anna and Zoe's part, and I tried to do like a front 9 or just something. I didn't know really what I was trying, and I came up like 10 feet short and just like landed like this sideways straight into I feel like my knee through my chin. It was kind of like rattling. That was like pretty scary one. And then also I had like kind of a crazy, I tried to like ride this run up in Alaska that's like not in the movie, but I got like kind of like lost and like sloughed out through this like crazy steep runnel, and that was like pretty scary. I got in a pretty gnarly avalanche up here in like 2018 in Whistler, so that was like super like gnarly just to be back kind of in that headspace of like I have to get the fuck out of here because I couldn't see like anything. It was like so snowy and just like whitewash. So that was probably like kind of the most on edge, like scared I was, like being up there. It was so crazy. But yeah, lots of them. Honestly, a couple big falls for sure.
How do you mentally come back from being in an avalanche and experiencing that, and then getting back out in the backcountry? I feel like that stops a lot of people. And obviously this is your career, but it's still freaking terrifying.
Yeah, it is super gnarly, but I don't know if any of you guys have ever done like a avalanche course or like a first aids course, but I did a lot of those to
It's really
help me build my my mental health back up. Because, yeah, it's definitely really scary. That was, like, the gnarliest thing that's ever happened, for sure. But, yeah, just knowing how to, like, use your gear, I highly suggest doing that just before. Because you guys have, like, insane mountains just, like, 2 hours away and even, like, an hour away. I know it gets pretty good here in the city, too. But it can happen at any time. On a powder day, it's so crazy. You never know, like, what the... I mean, you do if you do your pits and, you know, like are in that snowpack all year, but if you're traveling to a new place, ask your homies or your people like around that you kind of know there of like how the avalanche layers are and all this stuff, because like it's crazy. Like, there's still crazy events still going on. We had like a traumatic one last year and lost a couple people in the snowboard industry, so like people are constantly studying snow, but they just can never like get a hold of it. You know, it can just happen at any moment. But
Yeah.
that's the price we pay to play out in the mountains.
Yeah, if you're going out in the backcountry, it's like make sure you have some of that training for sure, and the people you're going with, make sure they have that training as well. It's pretty easy to like find classes at the start of the year and just go out there if you're trying to get into the backcountry. It's definitely important because shit happens back there. Yep.
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys for coming out. We talked a little bit about fear. I was just wondering what like mental processes you go through to mitigate your fear and balancing your own personal safety.
Good question. I think the fear, the way I can limit like the fear the best would be just based on preparation, just doing everything I know I can do to like not be fearful of the task at hand. Like, okay, I'm as strong as I need to be for this, and I've studied this line as much. Oh, I wrap my head around this trick. I've taken all the steps, things like that, like checklists almost. And then that definitely helps me be less fearful for sure. But yeah, there's always an element of fear to it, but I think I'm getting better at like mitigating risk as I get older. Just, you know what's at stake, and just trying not to take stupid risks.
Yeah, like he was saying too, of like when you're with like the crew you're surrounded with too, for like being in the mountains, that like opens up your opportunity to like, I should say, like get gnarlier or try a crazier line or a bigger jump or whatever. If you're with like the right crew in the mountains, you definitely feel like a lot more comfy. And then yeah, like big trick or whatever, like he's the best at the slope style stuff, you know, for a reason, and like just doing everything you can do to be prepared to just be like, fuck it, I gotta try it. You know? For sure.
I'd say like in either of your guys' careers, like what would you say is like the most memorable thing?
Probably for me, up there would be, I won a natural selection in 2021, I think it was, and that was kind of like the first one, and it was on that Jackson course, and there was a lot of hype around that. That was a really special win, just to kind of like prove that I could ride. Like I had proven that I could ride powder and stuff, but to like do it in that kind of a setting and win a contest with the names that were there, that was really special. But I mean, all of them are special in their own respect, but obviously like some Olympic medals felt pretty good at times, and X Games stuff, but yeah, NST, I was pretty proud to win that one.
Haven't got many wins. Got a couple podiums though in my day, and one of the most memorable ones was in Mammoth. I grew up there a few years ago, and got a podium there at like a World Cup, and that felt good. It was like my home soil. I grew up there since I was like 3 years old and learned how to snowboard, and my whole family and grandparents were there and stuff. So that was super.
That's
heartfelt.
very memorable.
What's yours?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's good for you.
Matt kind of undersold himself. He's a very accomplished free skier and really good skateboarder too.
Thank you, Mark. But the most memorable contest win for me, I came second at X Games one year, and it was like my last run in finals, had to put it down, and I like put down the run of my life, which like
Hell yeah.
up to that point, and it was like I could not. That's the biggest one for me. I don't know. You kind of black out. You don't know what I was like screaming and yelling. I like rolled around the ground, I'm pretty sure. So that feeling you're always chasing. It feels like I, want to continue that as long as I can.
Tell us about Mark giving you your helmet. We got both you here. It's fun.
I know, it is fun. 2022.
Fall.
Yeah, fall 2022. Austria. Yeah, I was got invited to a Redbull camp. Was like super honored just to be there. I was kind of just considered a prospect at that point, and I was going up a gondola with Mark and a bunch of friends, and Mark pulled out this helmet pretending it was his, and he was like, "Oh, this is not mine, it's yours." Handed me this Redbull helmet, and that's kind of something you dream of for, I'm sure all Redbull athletes will say the same thing, but growing up you always want to represent the coolest companies and be a part of the brands that you've always wanted to dream, like be a part of, and that one, Redbull's obviously the #1 pick for me, and it was just a kind of full watching Mark, grow up. As a skier, I was always interested in a ton of different sports, but especially snowboarding, I drew a lot of inspiration from. So watching Mark, crush the contest scene and backcountry scene, and then having him give me that helmet was like, doesn't get better. Doesn't get much better than that.
Honor to give it to you. Special moment. Yeah, like I remember when I got on Redbull, it was December or November of 2010, and I was tripping.
Yeah.
Seb gave me mine too.
Yeah.
He's like, "What's under my seat?" Fuck, the helmet with my name on it. No, it's special.
Yeah, it's
Red Bull's creme de la creme. We're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Good company.
Mark, Russ, you guys have filmed together for a long time. Do you have any funny stories of spending a lot of time in the backcountry together?
Yeah, frick. Russ and I have got a decent amount of time in the backcountry. Not as much as we'd like, but we've been on a few heli things together. And yeah, the trip this year is really good, but tons of fun memories from just being on the road together, and just lots of inside jokes and lots of giggling and good times.
Inside jokes that we can't say, so.
I was thinking about you in Sauce Bay this year when I was going up the T-bar, and Ninja was impossible to ride the T-bar with. He would just start like riding on my board, you know? And then I just recall this one time or a few times me and Russ were having all sorts of T-bar issues together in Sauce Bay while we were filming.
There's a T-bar, it's super icy and gets real steep.
T-bars are awful.
They're uncomfortable. So you had to like stand really straight, or else if you try and like get any pressure off of like the inside of your thigh, like lean back, which is more comfortable, your edge goes this way. And I'm goofing as regular, so our edges, we're both leaning back, so both our edges started hitting each other. So at one point his board's on top of my board, I got a camera in this hand, and somehow we were trying to like get out of the scenario because we got like stuck, and somehow his board was flat on the ground and my free foot was on his board, my board was in the air like this. I was holding on. And then, but somehow we recovered though and got to the top. But it was at the steepest part. If we both fell, we would have just slid down like 20 meters.
Chairlifts are way better.
When you're going for a big trip, and maybe, or like a new trip, and you're maybe not getting it right away, is that headspace like put your head down and like do it until you get it, or is it more so like, okay, maybe I'm not getting it right away, I'll come back to it later?
That's the responsible way to go about it. But sometimes you get into a my war.
This guy's like the most determined dude you'll ever see on the mountain. When he gets into a war, it's insane. Like he gets that shit. Like he doesn't come back for it. But yeah, I don't know. You can keep talking.
No, that's really nice of you. But I'm trying to like quit sometimes while I'm like ahead. Like you tried the first one and you're really tired and you rode all morning, maybe we should revisit this later, you know? But I feel like once you just open that can of worms, you just want to like figure it out or get the clip. That's definitely a real thing. But yeah, as I get older, try and limit the amount of impacts and like try and do things when I'm fresh too. Because I mean, the stuff you gotta do now is so insane. Like you need every ounce of energy and power to like pull some of that stuff off. So yeah, I think in my younger days I definitely wouldn't like leave even if I could barely like walk anymore. I was just like, I'm gonna land this.
Where do you guys think like the future of snowboarding and skiing is gonna be?
Oh, it's gonna keep going crazier and crazier for sure, but I think it's just really important to still highlight the sides that like we all fell in love with it, or at least like myself, just movies, and that was kind of my only way I could ever like see pro snowboarding was movies, and then a little bit on the internet as we got a little older, looking at the magazine's websites, but like having a magazine. So I think it's really important to like highlight the different sides of snowboarding, because for sure the contests will just continue to get gnarlier and gnarlier, and it being Olympic sport, there's lots of funding for different national teams and stuff, but doing these video projects with people like Redbull and Burton and Oakley and all these different companies I think is really important, because you don't want it just to be all about the acrobatics and the competing, because snowboarding is much more than that. So hopefully it progresses and both things still get highlighted.
Great answer.
Yeah, I heard this crazy thing on the bomb hole the other day. They're talking about, and within the next like 2 years, someone will do like a 30 or whatever it's like called.
30.
You know, they're like, the Grandies is like, when do you think we'll see a 30 or like something? And that's like 9 360s. We're not that far away from it. Like Hiroto did like the 2340. So you just
Is
got
that 6.5?
another 540, and it's
6.5,
pretty mellow.
yeah.
But what's the skiers doing? The skiers' big air is
Yeah,
like
they're doing
same
23,
big air,
right?
ridiculous.
Yeah, people are doing 2340. Is that the math? 2340.
Yeah.
People are spinning. Yeah, it's crazy. But I think, you know, Mark's brother Craig had a really good point of, you know, if you're gonna hate on contest snowboarding or skiing and like not want to watch the spin to win, you know, like contests are for progression and like for people to show their best stuff, and like I think it's a really cool thing when like everyone, the best in the world, are coming together to like push themselves and progress themselves in that aspect of snowboarding. And if you don't want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. Watch the snowboard movies, but like
Yeah, there's a million other
there's a
pieces
million
of content you can
yeah,
watch.
there's like so much other genres that people can enjoy. So I think like, you know, being a bit more open-minded of like, yeah, this is like the contest stuff is here to stay, and like people are gonna keep progressing and keep flipping and spinning because it is very impressive. But you know, if that's not your cup of tea, there's a million street videos and a million park or snowboard or backcountry videos that you can watch that are like as impressive and more, you know, with the artistic tie into it. So I think there's really cool ways to blend both together, and I think you're looking at some of the best to ever do it, where you're looking, you know, they can go rip contests and still compete with the best in the world, and then also go produce this like amazing movie where, you know, the whole industry is just like blown away on what's going on in the movie. So I think it's, you know.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's thanks. Also, to your point too, and like what Mark was saying is like, now every day you just can open social media and you're like, holy crap, that's a crazy new trick that just went down, or this or that. When like Mark was saying at like the beginning of his snowboard career, you would wait till the like end of the year or whatever to see this huge snowboard movie or magazines or whatever, you know. And so it's kind of hard because that side of like snowboarding is kind of almost like going away a little bit, but we got to try to keep it together because that's like where it was all based out of, you know, from like the original side of it.
How was snowboarding enriching your life?
I went on a family vacation when I was 3 years old and have snowboarded ever since. Don't even remember. We must have snowboarded. But
Was it introduced or enriched?
oh, sorry. I thought you said it.
I noticed there for morning, but you know that.
Yeah.
Like one snowboard give it to you.
Yeah.
More than any other experience.
So much though. I just explained it. I've just been doing it forever and love it. Yeah. And how she was saying, I got in a pretty crazy accident, and I almost was like a rebirth of like, I was so thankful that I could even walk away from that to like keep snowboarding. And yeah, being in the mountains with your friends is like so magical, and it's crazy to be able to get to do that. You know, it's as much as you possibly can, because it brings me so much happiness.
Snowboarding's enriched my life in many, many ways. It's given me a lot of freedom. I have a lot of friends that play professional sports for sports teams, and for sure you can make great livings doing that, but you're kind of like stuck in North America, or like we've been so lucky to travel and meet so many different people from so many different areas of the world, and like, I don't know, it's an experience you couldn't have even dreamed up. Like, I just wanted to be a pro snowboarder, but like where it's gone has just gone so much further than I could have imagined. And yeah, it gave me amazing friendships and amazing freedom, and it's taught me how to work hard and get along with different people from around the world, and kind of be your own little like brand business, you know. It's I mean, any job where you get to be in nature most of the time is pretty cool, and get to share with friends and family. it's a beautiful life. Sometimes hard, but I feel like the good times definitely outweigh the bad ones.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Oh yeah, and Russ, it's enriched his life.
It's enriched me so much. No, it's just a sense of community, and you know, I think most of my friends all snowboard. And I met through snowboarding, and it's given me a job. And honestly, I don't think I'd be able to travel to all the places that I've been to if it weren't for snowboarding. So it's done a lot for me.
That's beautiful.
So regarding video parts and this film in particular, I was wondering if there's like prior to the season or when you go to the spots, you decide like in a team the places you have here before or where you're gonna do the tricks. Is there something like, oh, I've been in those landings in those spots prior, so I know I can do these tricks, or is something in cooperation will the team decide, or once you're there, this something comes natural into, I think this will be the right place, depending on the conditions and stuff?
Yeah, I think we're looking at the weather a lot and looking at temperatures and what facing, like if we need to find a jump into a north facing landing so it's cold and good powder come the springtime, then you're like, okay, you got this list of jumps that like maybe he's hit in the past or I've hit, or a potential new spot, and you're like, okay, we got to find something with a north-facing landing. So that's when you'll like go back to different spots that maybe you've hit in years past, but the way that snow comes in, wind comes in, it always kind of shapes differently. I mean, the ultimate goal is always finding something brand new that no one's hit and having it work. But I feel like the limited days, it's like, oh, we should maybe go to something that has worked in the past, maybe a little different now, but there's a really good chance you would get a shot then. So it's trying to find the balance there on whether to just go to the same places that people have been in years past or really be on the search for new features. I don't know, did that answer your question, kind of?
Is that decision like collective sometimes, or something like, damn, I really don't want that spot, but everyone says yes?
Yeah, I guess that can happen for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're all in agreement a lot of the times. Or we'll have like 4 athletes and filmer, drone pilot, and photographer, and we'll kind of like split up a little bit, and they'll do this and they'll do that. Like we try and make everyone happy and everyone a part of the decisions for sure.
Yeah, and usually our planning like the night before of kind of like the certain area that we're going to or whatever. Because, yeah, in this project it happened one time where we pulled up to the trailhead and there's like maybe, it seemed like 5 to 10 riders, and then we only had like 4 or 5 media. It just sounds crazy to say like 4 or 5 media, but when there's like two riders working together with all in 5 to 10 of them, it's like everyone sees a little something different, you know? So it's always just trying to get as many shots as possible when the snow is good. But then when the snow starts turning to like bad in the springtime, like Mark said, you're hunting just for good snow always, because that's what makes the shot the best.
I think
you had a question, right?
Oh yeah. For all you guys, what's your favorite like lesser known world, like non-world famous park? Because I feel like my favorite, or like place I've had most fun at, like my local small East Coast mountain, or like an underfunded tow road.
Sick. Where?
I'm from Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, hell yeah. Is that near Mountain Creek? That's Jersey, right?
It's where like Andy Perry, Weston, on the Dolly, that group.
Yeah. Sick. The tow rope's kind of nice. They had a good park growing up? Or they just set the rails up properly and...
Yeah. Honestly, like, not the best setup. That tow rope, it's like all handmade, but it's just like the people there.
It's a million laps, and it's like a skate park vibe, right? That's the best.
Yeah.
We had a super fun session one time. The Canadian team used to always go up to like the Yukon, like way up north. I think it was called Whitehorse, right?
Yeah, Mount Seymour.
And they had like a jump for these guys or us, and we got to ride that in the morning. You ride from like 8 to 11 in the morning, and it's just full dark out because it's so far north. And then from like midday, you could ride a rope tow. And that was like one of the only times I've really ridden a rope tow with a bunch of rails. And it's like the best. Like that was probably one of the highlight weeks of like smallest resort I feel like I've like really been to, but like most fun week ever because you just get rope tows. You get so many tries at like that rail or whatever. Only if they can do it for a jump. It'd be insane.
Yeah, it's not really like a small Monpa or underground resort. Like it's well known, the COP, but I grew up riding there a ton and having a high speed quad with a super short lap with 1 million features. That's a really amazing place to ride park in Canada. And then like Grouse and Seymour, it's really fun, and those are great parks. It's so cool you guys have access to 3 in the city, and then Whistler up there, and even Mount Washington, and it's good area to be going to school.
Yes. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. We've done quite a bit, covered some ground.
Unless anyone has any burning questions.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone got them out, eh?
Yeah. Well, stoked to see you guys all tonight, hopefully. At the
Yeah. We'll see you guys tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for all coming.
FNRad shoutouts this week to the UBC Snowboard Club, Liam from Cypress Mountain, Mark Bortscheller, Nick from Salmon Arms, who gave me a pair of Craig Kelly Mystery Air theme mitts for my trip to China. Salmon Arms is a true Canadian company owned by a snowboarder. Go to salmonarms.com and buy mitts right now. Special thanks to Seb Ledger and everyone supporting the FNRad Patreon. And go buy the Pro Standard quick releases for your step-ons before they sell out right now. They're just coming in, and Ken is shipping them out like crazy. And be sure to come back next week for another episode of the FNRad Snowboard Podcast presented by Flojoy Water and brought to you by FNRad Productions. Oh, and if you want to produce audio or video for your project, reach out to me at fnradpodcast@hotmail.com.